Yeah, I just wanted to point out, first to echo what was said about how very diverse the University of California's entering class of admittees is this year. I mean, anyone who says that as a result of Prop 209, African Americans and Latinos have become underrepresented, it's actually just the opposite. Those numbers have grown a lot. They're much higher than they were back in 1996. In fact, the group that is actually the most underrepresented now is whites, in sort of an odd turnabout here. But, part of the reason for that is that Prop 209 does not prohibit giving a little leg up to people who are low income, who need a little extra break. And during the Prop 209 campaign, we always said, look, this would outlaw discrimination on the basis of race or sex. But if you've got somebody who's actually low income, regardless of what their race is, there's nothing wrong with the state of California or the University of California from giving them a little leg up. Through contracting, you can do that by helping out, brand new businesses, tiny businesses at the University of California. They do give a very small leg up to people whose parents didn't go to college or who come from neighborhoods that are low income and things of that sort. The weird perverse effect of Prop 16 is going to be, if it passes, that it will actually advantage wealthier minorities to the disadvantage of lower income minorities. That's backwards. That's not what the state of California should be doing. But that very much is what will happen. It will crowd out these special leg up for students of all races who are low income or otherwise, such as through their parents didn't go to college, might need a little extra encouragement.
Damien, if I can just
Yes.
add to what Gail is saying. So I used to be part of a group of people, the ambassadors that UC Berkeley sent out to schools, to high schools. And I specifically went to disadvantaged schools to talk to students. And one of the things that, as a result of Proposition 209, this whole entire person data look and saying, hey, look, if you meet the minimum criteria, we're going to look at this whole person, is it really truly has just as Gail had said, advanced people who are maybe from lower income level or a different race, Latinos. And I'm specifically talking about one student that I think that pre-209, he would never have entered Berkeley. But he did, and he was really hailed as a great breakthrough. And this was like in 2003 or something like that. And he came and spoke to us. He said, I never thought I would get into Berkeley. I am the oldest of 7 kids of a single mother who works 2 minimum wage jobs. And I barely make 3.7, and I forgot his SAT score. The reason why Berkeley took him was we said he demonstrated a leadership. How did he demonstrate leadership? Anybody who, as the oldest, can get all his siblings to school, pick them up from school, get them making sure that they do their homework, and nobody got into gangs in a gang neighborhood is a leader. And we're going to say, you know what, yeah, you're not your typical Berkeley grad, Berkeley admittee at 4.3 with 1,600 SAT scores. But oh my gosh, Berkeley needs you, because how did you do it? How did you do it that as it's the oldest of 7 kids and mom who works literally 24/7, you can have all that grades and you get all your siblings to school and you tutor them and everybody has good grades. That's demonstration leadership. 209 doesn't, if you pass Proposition 16, I guarantee you that kid's application will never make it to the stack. It won't, because he'll get cut off right there at the admission guidelines. And then after the admission guidelines, then they go through the pool. Just remember, and I put it in the chat box, just remember, affirmative action must reflect the population. If Asian Americans go down, Latinos go up, or vice versa, all those percentage of admission will change based on that population. And further, African Americans in admission to UCs, especially for Berkeley, more than doubled in the past 2 decades because of the Proposition 209. You bring back Proposition 16, you pass that, you have to realize that the African Americans representation in terms of population has to reflect, the admittees has to reflect that population. It's going to drive down their figures. It's kind of this logical thing that people forget to talk about. And it's so important for all of us to recognize that that's what Proposition 16 will bring us backwards and not forward.